Hello, my name is Lisa Johnson and today I'm talking about something very important, and that is feminism. The sort of basic overview definition of feminism is a movement to grant women political, social and economic equality with men. And obviously all the things that I'm going to talk about will link into all of those. So that's really good. Last Tuesday on the 8th of March was International Women's Day, which is an extremely important day to so many people and for the entire feminist movement, and it's just really, really good. And I know I'm a little late to the party to be uploading this, but I'm going to do it anyway because all of the points about gender equality are still very, very valid any day of the year. It doesn't matter. One of the main conversations that sort of dominates the entire day is actually when is International Men's Day. And the thing is, there is a Men's Day. It's the 19th of November. 19th? The 19th? Yeah, and it's about, things like the biased legal system when it comes to family law issues. But the problem with bringing it up on International Women's Day is that it doesn't have to do with women, and that is what the entire day is about. And a lot of people say that, there is this one day for International Women's Day and then every single other day is Men's Day, essentially. I read this good sort of comparison, which was like Mother's and Father's Day, and on those days children are always like, well, when is Kids Day? And it's like, well, every day is Kids Day. Your parents, they do everything for you and they spend money and it's all about you all the time. And then there's just Mother's Day and then Father's Day, which are there just to celebrate them. And it's very similar to that because International Women's Day is meant to be all about celebrating women and the achievements that we have achieved in gender equality throughout all of history. So I thought that was a really, really good point, and it was something I hadn't really thought of before. So I liked that and thought it was a really interesting way to look at it. I think International Women's Day began around sort of 1911-ish, 1909, 10. I think in 1911 it was first named International Women's Day, but before then it was just like Women's Workers' Day and all that, because it began with women fighting for their right to vote and to work and to hold public office in politics, and then since then it's grown and followed all the different issues that have come up over time, and so it holds huge historical significance, in that regard, because without all the past women achieving what they have done, we wouldn't have a lot of what we have today, as a society, as women, as men, as people. It would be a very different world. I mean, things like my education, I get to go to school from kindergarten through to year 12, and then after that I can go on to university and do as many degrees as I want, and I have those opportunities. And a lot of girls don't get that privilege of learning every single day. So that's just one of the things. And then other issues with gender are things, I've got all my notes written down because I don't want to forget anything. It's things like the wage gap. Women on average, I think, is paid every 70 cents to the dollar that a man is paid in the exact same job. And I mean, that's clearly not fair. That's not right. And other things is underrepresentation of women in politics, and then overrepresentation in things like poverty and domestic violence and sexual assault cases, and really, really awful things like that. And then if you go even further into sort of underdeveloped countries, it gets even worse. In some countries, there's female genital mutilation, which is just awful, I'm not going to go into detail about it, but it's quite horrific. In India, you know, there's marital rape, which is unbelievable, to say the least, and it just shocks me that these things actually happen and people have to go through this and they don't get a choice. People go through a lot, and like, it's a huge gender issue and it needs to be addressed in so many ways, in so many countries and governments and politics and societies. And you know, even the values that people hold can have a huge impact on it. I think people who are feminists, maybe there's sort of this stereotype that they're angry people and they just, you know, they hate men, or it's an excuse for women to be rude to men, when actually, no, it's not. It's actually about both genders, and it's, well, all genders, sorry, and it's, you need all of the genders in this movement for it to work, and for everyone to work together in harmony and in cooperation, so all the genders are recognised. It's such a significant movement in our world, because it's empowering women, it's empowering young girls to do what they want in society, and not let sort of gender roles and structures hold them back when their passions and dreams don't fit into what's expected of them. Because it's not really fair that, you know, girls are being told, oh, you can't do this, you must do this thing, and then boys are being told the same thing about other topics. It goes both ways. But I think overall, you know, the very fact that we have to fight for equality is kind of ridiculous, you know. If you think about it, it's sort of, it just blows my mind that it isn't a thing, or people think that it shouldn't be, or that what's happening is okay, when it's clearly not, because there are some serious issues out there, and I mean, some people don't even think about it, or they don't recognize it, or they hear it and then they go, oh, well, I don't want to know about that, so I'm just going to put it over there, and then it's never dealt with. I think one massive misconception about feminism is that it's designed so that women are valued over men, or that that's what feminists believe in, when actually it's kind of the opposite. It's not about men over women or women over men. It's about being on an equal plane so that everyone gets the same opportunities and the same choices and the same privileges, and it isn't a one-way streak, or a no one's at a disadvantage or an advantage. And the entire concept of it is to gain equality and recognition of everyone in every way possible. And that would probably make it a better place to be in, if that's what society as a whole had achieved. There have been massive achievements in the past, and it is so incredible that these things have happened. Women have been told that they're wrong, and they have been belittled, and they've been just tossed aside because of their genitalia. Like, it really confuses me. It makes me so admirable of the women who have stepped out and said, no, that's wrong. And it also makes me so hopeful of the things to come, because if we have achieved all of that, then imagine what we can achieve in the future. There is still so much work to be done, obviously, but it's a progress, and we're getting there. and that's a good thing. I know this video has sort of turned into like a rambly rant-ish. Sorry about that. Okay, but I think that's all for now. I don't know, I'll check back with you another time in another video or anything else. All my links are below, and I will see you next week. Thank you for watching. See ya.